Hey guys, welcome to the 25th C programming tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to begin looking at pointers. So basically what a pointer is it's just a special data type that holds the address of another variable in memory. So before we can actually look at pointers, we first need to look at getting the address of a variable. So let's just go ahead right here and create a variable to get the address of. So I'm just going to say int I equals 4. Alright, now before we can actually look at getting the address of a variable, we first need to take a look at or get a basic understanding of how memory works or how your computer stores memory. So let's just take a look at a grid right here in Paint. And let's assume that this grid represents all memory. And let's assume that this right here, this unit of memory, is at the 0 index. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw an arrow here and put a 0. So this right here is the first unit of memory, and it's at the address 0. So now let's just go ahead and draw I, our integer variable I, somewhere out here in memory. We have no idea where it is. Now to get the address of this integer variable called I, we're going to go back into code blocks right here and print out the address of I onto our screen. So we're just going to say printf, and then we're going to say %u, and then following that we're going to do ampersand I, and putting an ampersand in front of any variable name will just give you the address of that variable in memory. And we're just going to go ahead and print out the address of I onto our screen. So we're just going to go ahead right here and run this program, and when we do, we should get the address of I onto our screen. Alright, so this right here is the address of I in our memory. So we're just going to go ahead right here and draw an arrow right here. And let me just go ahead and write out the address of our integer variable called I. It's 268.6.2686 748. Alright, so now as we can see, indicated by our program right here, our integer variable called I is at the address 268.6.748. So now let's go ahead and create a pointer to hold the address of I. So let's go back in code blocks here and create a pointer that will point or hold the address of our integer variable I right here. So the first step in creating a pointer is writing out the type of data that your pointer is going to be pointing to. In our case, our pointer is going to be pointing to our integer variable I. So we're going to write out int. Then to indicate that our variable is going to be a pointer, we need to write out an asterisk. And then following that, we can just give a name to our pointer. I'm just going to go ahead and call this pointer my pointer. And then we just need to set this pointer equal to the address of I. And remember, to get the address of any variable, you just put an ampersand before the name of it. Alright, so now right here, we're just creating an integer pointer that points to this integer variable I, or this pointer variable just holds the address of I inside of it. So now let's just go ahead and print out onto the screen the value that our pointer variable holds. So %u, since it holds an address. And then we're also going to print out the address of I. So first we're just going to print out the value that my pointer holds, and then we're going to go ahead and print out the address of I. So we're just going to say ampersand I. Alright, so now let's just go ahead and run this program. Actually, first I need to close this one. Now run our program that we just created. And as you can see, these values are both the exact same, since we're holding the address of I in this pointer variable called my pointer. Alright, and we know that this is a pointer because it has a star right in front of it. And whenever you're accessing a pointer variable, you don't need to put a star in front of it. You only need to do that when you're initializing it, or when you're creating your pointer. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to get a little bit more in depth and look at when you would want to use a pointer. Alright, so see you guys.